Hello there, I'm Sabrina Zainal and you're tuned in to 7Edition. The headlines. Government launches National Wage Index for Malaysia's labour market. Over R500 million lost in MINDEF land swaps. And 16 U.S. states file lawsuit against Trump's administration. We begin the bulletin with this story. The government has for the first time launched a National Wage Index, NWI, to be utilized as a market indicator to determine and harmonize wages for workers, together with other economic considerations, including the Consumer Price Index and the Productivity Index. This data eventually would also be used as input for a company's human resources policy. Human Resources Minister M. Kulasigaran, who launched the NWI in Putrajaya this morning, said the index could serve as a benchmark for employees and employment seekers on labour market trends, apart from allowing them to make wage comparisons for career advancement purposes.
Kerap kali ia adalah subjektif, di mana majikan-majikan membuat beberapa keputusan yang mereka mendapat adalah baik atau sedemikian, tapi sekarang sebagai objektif untuk seluruh negara, kita ada satu sistem di mana satu analisa yang terbuka, yang transparent, di mana ia boleh guna pakai sebagai benchmark, bukan sahaja untuk kaki tangan di swasta, juga dengan kerajaan.
He added that the NWI would also enable policymakers to evaluate wage changes in the labour market to serve as inputs to salary setting, minimum wage review, and other labour policies. The index is the result of participation of some 3,000 private sector firms nationwide and is the culmination of a study by the Ministry in November 2016. Conducted by the Institute of Labour Market Information and Analysis, ILMIA, the index covers 169 types of jobs that make up 80% of the main occupations in Malaysia. Some of the findings from the research on NWI found that basic wages increased by 8.2% over the course of 8 quarters, whereas the private sector's basic wages increased by over 8.3% compared with the public sector's at 7.8%, while basic wages in the peninsula increased by 8.6% against 6.6% and 5.4% in Sarawak and Sabah, respectively. Although the NWI is not compulsory and functions more like guidelines for employers, Kula hopes it will be utilized by entire industries. Research on the NWI and its publication will also be conducted annually. On another matter, the Human Resources Minister has called on employers to allow the extension of service for employees above the retirement age of 60. Kula said this is because the talent and experience of retiring employees are valuable to Malaysia's growing economy.
Dan saya telah mengarahkan kepada agensi-agensi di bawah kementerian kami supaya memberi keutamaan kepada orang yang lebih dari orang yang telah bersara lah, supaya mereka juga to make it lebih flexible. Tak perlu bekerja terus 88 jam. Those who are above 60, dia nak relax sikit. Mungkin kerja 4 jam, 3 jam. So that flexible thing must come.
He added the government will also focus on increasing the participation of women and the disabled in the workforce. The government would also study Singapore's model to allow retirees to work again. Now, the government will expand the Bantuan Sara Hidup BSH cash aid to low-income single individuals involving a total allocation of 300 million ringgit or 100 ringgit per person. Finance Ministry in a statement today said the cash aid is aimed at alleviating the burdens of the group, especially those who earn meager wages. It said for a start, a payment of 100 ringgit will be made to each individual registered under the category of singles in the BSH 2018 database. The payment, involving over 3 million beneficiaries, will be made at the end of March 2019 and will directly be transferred into their bank account. However, the statement also said any future BSH payments for singles will need further study and approval from the Cabinet. The BSH scheme is a continuation of the now defunct BRIM, which gives cash assistance to the bottom 40% of income earners B40 to cope with living costs. Now moving on, political interference and absence of due diligence in 16 projects involving government land since 1997. This was among the findings of the final audit report into alleged misconduct and malpractices in the Defence Ministry, MINDEF. In a statement today, its Minister Muhammad Sabu said that this has resulted in losses and leakages worth some ₹500 million ringgit through land swaps, including completed projects with unsatisfactory building quality. According to Muhammad Sabu, the 16 projects involved 2,933 acres of land belonging to MINDEF, valued at 4.75 billion ringgit, with project costs of 4.8 billion ringgit. The ministry was informed that implementation of majority of the land swaps were not planned thoroughly and that there were no due diligence in the appointment of developers. He added that there was also political interference in the transactions for the political interests of certain quarters. Muhammad Sabu also stated that this had caused some projects to take longer than the agreed timeline in the contract, with some projects completed but at unsatisfactory quality. The minister said he has instructed his officers to lodge reports with the police, the MACC and related agencies. From 1997 until May 9, 2018, the individuals that served as Defence Minister include Tan Sri Syed Hamid Albar, Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein On. In other news, Kuala Lumpur police have arrested 3 men believed to have installed a hacking device on an automated teller machine ATM in Jalan Changkat Bukit Bintang last Sunday. One of the objects was a skimmer placed over the card slot and the other was a spy camera placed over the keypad. Dangwangi Police Chief ACP Shaharuddin Abdullah today said the suspects, aged 30, 33 and 48, were picked up at a convenience store near the machine. The arrest was made after 5 members of the police motorcycle patrol unit from Tun HS Lee Police Station conducted an inspection at 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. The police personnel then found suspicious objects placed over the ATM's keypad and card slot before removing them. A closer check revealed that one of the devices was a skimmer to obtain data from ATM and credit cards, while the other was a video recorder used to capture personal identification numbers of card users. The trio was then brought to the Dangwangi Police Headquarters to assist investigations on the ATM hacking. The case is being probed under the Penal Code for cheating. Now, the suspect, who is believed to have assaulted and robbed a woman in a lift at an MRT station in Cheras last Thursday, has been remanded for 7 days, beginning today. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Sri Mazlan Nazim said the 26-year-old suspect was arrested at about 8:10 p.m. last night at his rented flat in Taman Cheras.
The suspect was in the middle of shaving his head in an attempt to change his appearance when a team of police raided the unit where he had been hiding after the incident. He is said to have a past criminal record for drug-related offences and for voluntarily causing hurt by dangerous weapon or means and gang robbery.
Dan kita dapati bahawa dia ada masuki geng, satu geng di Kelang. Nak sebut nama tak? Geng Geng 08 di Kelang. Jadi bermaksud bahawa dia ni mempunyai aktiviti, tapi dalam dia melakukan jenayah ini dia melakukan secara solo. Bukannya ada orang bersama dengan dia. Tetapi walaupun pihak kita sedang mencari rakan jenayah dia lah, kalau ada, untuk kita nak mengambil tindakan selanjutnya. Dan kita dapati bahawa dia nak merancang untuk meragut, dan juga kalau ada peluang dia akan ambil tindakan kepada orang yang ada di sana.
Police also seized 19 mobile phones, several bank cards, touch-and-go cards, and a red Modenas Chris used by the suspect during the raid. In the 6:45 a.m. incident on Thursday, a 48-year-old woman became a victim of a brutal assault inside a lift at the Taman Mutiara MRT station when the suspect robbed her. Police believed the man had also robbed a nearby convenience store prior to the incident. He later ran away with the victim's handbag, which contained her MyCard, ATM card, and 400 ringgit cash. The case is investigated under the Penal Code for causing hurt while committing robbery.
Now next, 3 individuals, including a former CEO of the Malacca River and Coastal Development Corporation, PPSPM, and his deputy, have been remanded 5 days beginning today. Their remand order was to assist in a bribery case involving a project worth 3 million ringgit. Also remanded was a chief executive officer and owner of a boat manufacturing company.
The remand order on the 3 suspects aged 37, 50 and 56 was issued by Senior Assistant Registrar of the Malacca Magistrates Court, Teo Shu Yi, to facilitate a probe under Section 17, Subsection A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Act. They were detained last night in Malacca Tengah after they were believed to have received bribes from several contractor companies operating in the state. The MACC also arrested the 31-year-old wife of the deputy CEO from PPSPM. However, the remand application on her was rejected by the court. The MACC then seized a luxury car and several luxury branded watches.
A video recording of a man beating up and scolding a child, allegedly for sticking a chewing gum on his car, has gone viral on social media since yesterday. It was believed that the boy is an inmate of a welfare home in Taiping, Perak. A police report has been lodged on the incident last night. Acting District Police Chief Superintendent Razlam Abdul Hamid said a Facebook user reported the matter after he saw the video on his feed at about 8:30 p.m. In the 2-minute and 10-second video, which was uploaded on Facebook and garnered about 40,000 views, a man was seen hitting the victim behind his neck with his hand several times in front of several other children. Authorities added they have identified the suspect in the video and have called him in to give a statement today. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for deliberately causing injury. Meanwhile, police have identified the man who drowned after falling overboard a Penang passenger ferry. This after the victim's friends identified him as Muhammad, a Myanmar national who is also a United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees UNHCR card holder. Northeast Police Chief ACP Che Zaimani Che Awang said police traced the victim's friend through the SIM card from his mobile phone. He added the victim's prints were also taken for cross-check in the UNHCR database. Authorities also said Muhammad was a vegetable seller in Butterworth, and they are currently tracking down his employer to assist with the investigation. In the 9:20 a.m. incident on Friday, the victim was believed to have fallen off near the Butterworth ferry terminal. His body was found close to the Swettenham jetty on Sunday after 3 days of search. Coming up, inmates rescue trapped girl using car theft skills. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah presented Federal Territory Awards and medals to 200 people at Istana Negara today. The ceremony was held in conjunction with Federal Territory Day. Datuk Jalil Marzuki, Director General of the Legal Affairs Division in the Prime Minister's Department, led the list of recipients. He is the sole recipient this year of the Sri Mahkota Wilayah Award, which carries the title Datuk Sri. 27 people also received the Panglima Mahkota Wilayah Award, which carries the title Datuk. The Johan Mahkota Wilayah Award was presented to 36 people, while 32 people received the Ksatria Mahkota Wilayah Award. Another 36 people received the Ahli Mahkota Wilayah Award, and 68 were presented the Pangkuan Mahkota Wilayah Medal. Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook has denied instructing his aide to question Radio Television Malaysia RTM over its decision to omit a portion of the minister's speech at a recent Chinese New Year event. Now, Loke stressed that his press secretary Lim Swee Kwan issued the statement in his own capacity and that it should not be seen as an infringement on media freedom.
I've never given any instructions, but I will leave it to the respective minister, in particular Wabi Corbin, to handle it and to investigate further.
Loke said this in defense of his aide over the latter's criticism in a Facebook post recently over RTM's decision to air only a portion of the minister's speech during the live event, which drew backlash as it was seen as threatening the media. Yesterday, Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Deo asked RTM to submit a report over the allegation that the government broadcasting station had attempted to sabotage the Transport Minister. Now let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Recently, a video of a rescue operation went viral on social media. However, the rescuers were an unlikely group of inmates who came to the aid of a family when a man accidentally locked his baby girl inside his SUV along with his car keys. The incident began when the child's father strapped the little girl into a baby car seat in the back of the SUV and tossed the keys to the front seat. As he closed the back door, he realized the car was locked. Lucky for the couple, the group of convicts were repairing median nearby offered to help. With permission from the deputies supervising them, the 5 inmates jumped into action using a wire coat hanger to jimmy the car door open, which only took about 2 minutes. The inmates involved were all considered low risk and seemed pleased to have helped out the family.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
And now updated as of 7 p.m., here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. The Airport Tax or Passenger Service Charge PSC lawsuit against the AirAsia Group is now being deliberated in court, and this process should be allowed to take its due course. In a statement today, Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad MAHB explained that the PSC was a statutory rate fixed by the government. It added that the court needed to decide for the aviation industry to operate efficiently and competitively and in compliance with all international aviation standards and regulations. The airport operator also said it was continuously engaging with all its key shareholders and would address concerns to the Employees Provident Fund and clarify the matters with them accordingly. In December 2018, MAHB sued AirAsia and AirAsia X for a combined 36.1 million ringgit for outstanding airport taxes. This was after the sister airlines only collected 50 ringgit instead of the newly increased fee of 73 ringgit for non-ASEAN international passengers.